Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and this is going to be my new comic pickups for September 29th, 2021. It is a giant week, but I kind of made some cuts, and let's see what I end up getting. I usually take it out of the black bag, but I felt like this time I would keep it in the black bag just to show you that I actually pick it up at a store. Give me 1 second, I need to rearrange this real quick. Okay, so all these are new pickups, and then what I set aside were just some random books that I picked up. So in no particular order, let's get into it. So from Titan Comics, I went ahead and picked up Gun Honey #1. Everybody's talking about this book. So I went ahead and picked it up. They did not have the Adam Hughes cover that everybody is kind of talking about. So I just went with this cover. Next up, a book that was on my radar, but Vault Comics, we got Human Remains, issue #1. I think this is the B cover. I think they had like 4 or 5 different covers. I really like the calm and the surreal of the picture with all the blood and everything. So I went ahead and I'm going to give it a try. I've enjoyed everything the Vault's been coming out with. From Behemoth, this is probably one of my big ones for the week, but this is Cinnamon issue #3. I went with, we just got cover A. I don't even know if there was a cover B. But this is definitely one of my top. I get so excited reading this book. It's so fun and simple, and the art is just stellar. Another big one on everybody's list, but Image Comics, Echolands issue #2. I went with cover A. I just like the whole the sword with the green hand gripping it. And we'll see about this. The art was pretty stunning. The story was big one for everybody, and me included. But Boom Studios, Berserker issue #5. I think this was I think it was cover A. And they had the foil and everything. I saved the money and went with the regular cover. We're far enough in this series where I'm not drawn in by the foil. I did pick up foils for like the first and second. Another big issue, but Boom Studios, we got Something Is Killing the Children, issue #20, and this is the variant cover, issue B, or cover B. And if I heard wrong, I think that is the last issue in the series until they start like a second volume or something like that. I think another last in the series, but this is Dark Horse Parasonomia, issue #4, and I think this is cover A. Most of these are going to be cover A. Just really depend. I mean, like that one, I think we only had the regular cover. Marvel, we got Dark Hawk #2, and this is an homage cover. This is a cover A, but it is an homage cover to an older Spider-Man comic. It's actually the first comic book I ever read. If anybody knows what this homage is to, please let me know. I've been trying to figure out what that Spider-Man comic is, but it's kind of the same thing with Spider-Man's Light, except Spider-Man is here, but it's kind of the same thing. It's set in like a dark warehouse type of a situation. Next up, from Marvel, we got Amazing Fantasy, issue #3. I think this is just cover A. I really dug the art on this one anyways. And I'm enjoying the story. This one took me a little bit to decide on which one, because I wanted this cover originally. I've been picking up all the trading card variant, connecting variants, but this is Extreme Carnage Omega, and this is the Silence cover, but they also had a Venom trading card variant that I was not aware of, so I was kind of deciding, and I went with Silence because I think this is her first cover instead of the Venom, but the Venom looked just as good. I also did pick up, I was kind of on the fence of this. This was specifically price-wise because it was at the like $5.99 price. I also had a couple other books I'll get into that was on my list, but I cut due to price. But we got X-Men Inferno, issue #1. I went with the, I think this is the Art Germ Mystique cover, and I did have, I think, 6 different covers I could pick from. but this is kind of the one I was leading to, either this one or the Beach from Mocha, and I like this one a little better. The last new comic book I did pick up was a big one for me, but I already have this issue. It's a specific cover by, but I've been picking up everything from this. But this is Sweet Paprika issue number 2. This is the second printing of issue number 2, and it's a different cover. And I mean, this cover was super sexy. Not only can you see the nips through her nightgown, but yeah, and then you got on the back cover, you got her in some sexy gear too. And I would like to add that this was a very low print run. I have my LCS, and I do have a big LCS. They only had 2 copies of it, so I went ahead and picked it up. These are kind of the back issues that I found, but I had a little extra money since I cut some of those other books due to prices. But speaking of Mirka Adolfo, I have been digging everything that she's been doing, so I have been looking for everything she has put her hands on, and I went ahead and found Mercy issue number 1. I don't know anything about this, but I mean, just cover art alone. I mean, but I'm digging her writing and her story, not just from Sweet Paprika, but Red Sonja and Unsacred and Unnatural. I've actually found a couple different issues, and just to see, what her writing is. But I've been picking up her art all along because she's been doing art from Marvel and DC and stuff like that. Another one that I just reviewed this morning, which is kind of funny because I check for this comic all the time and they never have it, but they finally did. They had and the one I needed to continue on in my reviews. But this is the Max issue number 3 from Image Comics, 1993 goodness. I couldn't believe they had it, and at a $3 cost. I was like, oh yeah. And that Mercy was only at a $4 cost, so I was like, hey, it's pretty close. Another big one, and it is a little damaged, but I didn't care. It's the only copy I've seen of this, but this is another one to continue on my reviews. Space Bastards issue number 5. There's a little damage up here, but I mean, again, they're just reader copy, and plus that if I wanted to, I could cold press it out. I do have issue number 4. I haven't read and reviewed that yet, but that's next. And then this one, but it'll probably be at the end of the week when I get to these. I still have to do Hot Valley, Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights. That's another one, but it's a little harder because it's a trade paperback. Real quick, I'll go into what I was going to pick up and what I passed up. I had a couple different Scout comics that were on my list, and I didn't have any Scout comics that showed up. But I think Red Shift number 3 was supposed to drop, and Cherry Blackbird number 3, but I know that one wasn't going to drop because the second issue just came out this past week. Vampire Macabre was supposed to come out as an independent, very independent company. I didn't see that. And Lock and Key, issue number 2, the one-shot came out, but it was $7, so I passed on that. Another one from Marvel was Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 74. I passed on that because of the $10 price. But other than that, that was everything else I ended up getting. It was a massive week. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to go eat, maybe take a nap, and then I'm going to get into reading and reviewing these. I have a lot to read, and y'all have a lot to look out for. So hopefully everybody has had a great new comic book day. They're out there supporting those shops, or online supporting the shops in that fashion. What are you most excited for that came out this week? Mine was definitely, my 2 was definitely that Cinnamon and that Sweet Paprika, that second print, which if you know me, I don't ever pick up, multiple covers of the same comic cover. I've already read it, reviewed it, and that's just how much I love that book. If you watch my channel and listen to you, I'm not going to point you in the wrong direction. It might look funny, it might not be up your alley, but if you give it a shot, you'll be really surprised. A lot of these books, I'm not going to recommend anything that I don't like myself, and that's plain simple how evil does it. But I hope everybody has a great day. I hope everybody gets everything they want. There was some amazing art out there. I had a friend at the shop that picked up like a $100 ratio cover. A little pricey for me, but hey, to each his own. But I will see y'all pretty soon. Bye.